Marcus, a lot of talk has been about your perimeter blocking so far this season. What have you made of that, and how much do you emphasize that in practice?
That's something that's a big emphasis in this offense. We have a lot of players that can make plays on the perimeter, so perimeter blocking is like it's necessary in our offense. It wasn't necessary in football, so I take pride in that, blocking the perimeter, being able to spring guys like the running backs open on big plays. So I know receivers that block downfield is a great recipe to making big plays down the field. So that's one thing. That's one area that I really emphasize. I have a lot of emphasis on.
What have you seen from some of these guys that might end up playing star this week, like Chris and Kamari and Malachi, David Daniel, all these different guys that could be thrown in at star? What do you see from them during practice?
Whoever goes in to play that position and start position on defense, I feel like they're ready to go in and play at a high level. Coach Martin, Coach Muschamp, all the coaches on the defensive side do a great job of coaching those players up and keeping them making them play at a standard here at Georgia. So I feel like whoever goes in at that position will be able to play at a high performance.
From your perspective as a receiver, like what is that position? What makes it difficult? Like what makes a good start? That kind of thing. From your perspective.
From my aspect, I know what makes a good start is like having to guard those slot guys. That's hard to guard. So I feel like all our DBs are fit to play that position. So no matter who goes in, I know whoever is in that position, I have trust in them to perform at a high level.
Go back to your blocking there. Who's the toughest guy in Georgia secondary to get a good block on?
Wait, in Georgia?
Yeah.
Here in Georgia?
When you're in practice.
There's a couple guys here. I know Dan always comes with it every time. Dan Jackson always comes with it every time. But all our DBs are physical, so whoever I have a going block, I know I can get my
Who
block
is the
right.
toughest one to get a good hit on?
Probably Dan. Probably Dan. Not gonna lie to you, Dan come with that thump every time. You do.
Has blocking always been something you think you could excel at, or has that been something that you've really worked on and tried to develop?
To be honest, I feel like that's an attitude play. Like attitude, so all about your attitude. Like if you got the attitude that you can go in there to hit somebody, then that's what you're gonna do. If you don't got that attitude, then you're not gonna do it. So that's something I've always had growing up playing football. Had an attitude. I like to play physical. So that's it's part of my attitude, my play style.
How much does your time at St. Thomas Aquinas, obviously one of the best programs in Florida, how much do you think that experience helped prepare you for coming to a place like Georgia where you win a national championship last year?
My experience at St. Thomas, I've been there for all 4 years of my high school career. The system there was very similar. It wasn't exactly the same, but it was very similar to the system here. So I feel like St. Thomas really prepared me for the college experience, or like how it would be up here in college, especially here at Georgia, because our practices in high school was almost like the same here. So it was an easy transition once I got up here. So I feel like that really helped me transition when I got up here, and it made the transition real smooth.
Several times when Brock Bowers has scored, he's referenced blocks that Marcus made. Can you just talk about when that call is for Brock, and does like a extra light come on for you, knowing that if I get this block, we're going house here?
I mean, yeah, and at the same time, it's just if they call a play and I know I had it, I know my assignment on that play. I'm gonna try to execute my assignment to the full ability, no matter who has the ball. It'll be Brock, Ladd, whoever has the ball in that play. My job is to block the man in front of me. So that's what I
assume it doesn't surprise you when you see 19 running free down the field.
It'll really surprise me. I know if I make just one block, I'll be able to spring him forward. Then it's a foot race from there.
How often does his speed kind of surprise y'all in practice or games? Like the other day, he outran an angle on that guy. You ever look around?
At this point, we're used to the speed. Like we done seen it so many times, but he's a different breed. He's a different creature. Like real deal. It's amazing to watch.
What's your best route with Stetson Bennett? We're in the huddle and like Stetson throw me this. What are you gonna tell him to throw?
I feel like there's not no one specific route that I have.
A favorite?
Whatever route's called, I run the route. And if I'm open, I'm open. If I'm not, I'm not.
What have you learned from Coach McClendon?
Coach, I learned a lot from Coach McClendon. He's a great guy. He's a great coach. One thing he did told me, like he taught the receiver quote, just like being able to play the football that you like, the brand of football that you know how to play. Like if you're a physical receiver, be physical. If you're a finesse receiver, be a finesse receiver. Like just playing your type of football, your brand of football. That's one thing I learned why he's been here at UG.
How much you guys? George Pickens to catch you up today.
Oh, I done seen George make those type of catches in practice here all the time. So when he made that catch in that game, I was like, man, there he go again. There he go again.
How much you guys itching to hit some more deep balls? I mean, I know that you guys have tried some, but hadn't always come up with them. How much is that part of adding to this offense?
Explosive us being able to hit explosive plays is like one of the key components to win the football game. So every week we're trying to find better ways to hit explosives and give us the best opportunity to win. So is that whether throwing the ball down the field or handing off on jet sweeps and getting long runs, it don't matter what it is, whatever that we can do to get those explosive plays to win the game.
Marcus, how close were you to making that catch on the third of the end zone?
I don't want to talk about that catch. I couldn't have made the play, but I was out of bounds and I dropped the ball. It's done, but it's over, it's through it. That was that week. We on to the next week. Getting ready for Missouri. We're going to go into the meetings today, watch some film on them, and see what this week have up against for us.
I don't know how many targets you had the last game, but it seemed like it was a good number. How does it feel to kind of be targeted by Stetson a lot? And you've gone through a lot of injuries, and now you seem to be an important cog in this offense.
At the same time, I feel like the targets, all that don't really matter. It's about the game plan that we have in play for each week. Whatever the game plan is, that's the game plan we're going to try to execute, and that's how we're going to try to execute at the full capacity that we can, and kind of try to come up with a victory. So I'm not really worried about no targets or how many targets I get or this and that.
We saw after kind of a rough start for Ladd on Saturday, he came back. I think he wound up having the most receiving yards on the team. What does that say about Ladd? The way, it started off rough, but it seemed like he shook it off and back.
Ladd had a little bit of adversity in the beginning of the game, but he's a great player. I feel like every great player that faces adversity always finds a way to overcome adversity. He showed that this weekend. Had a couple great catches, great plays. He was still able to push through and finish the game well, strong for us.
Was that a situation where someone that's going to come up and talk to him after something like that, or just kind
I was right there the whole time. After every mistake, I was right there, keeping his head up, making sure that his confidence don't drop. Because I know, especially a receiver, once your confidence drops and you out there perimeter, it's hard to play. It's hard to play the game. You always have to have you always have to have confidence. So I was just there trying to make sure his confidence was still up and he was able to still go out there and play well.
How much growth have you seen from some of the younger receivers?
Excuse me?
How much growth have you seen from the younger receivers in terms of just like execution of the playbook and their confidence?
Each week, I feel like each week as we go on throughout the season, the confidence the young receivers continue to build. So as they get more experience in playing and more experience in practice and stuff like that. So, and as they get more familiar with the playbook, so each week I got to see the confidence definitely building. They're getting a lot more confident in themselves and their ability to play.
Do you want Monken
Let's
to
take
draw
about
you
two
up
more,
a
please. Two more.
Do you want Monken to draw you up a jet this week, kind of like Brock did? Or?
If he draws it up for me, he does. If he don't, I'm not mad about it. I'm just here to play football.
Why did you switch from 81 to number 1? And do you ever get people telling you look like George Pickens, or are you still kind of trying to live up to that?
No, I'm not trying to live up. I just wanted to change my numbers. That's all. I just wanted to change my numbers. There wasn't no reason to it. Well, I ain't never had nobody say I look like George or anything like that. But yeah.
What do you think about Jackson Meeks?
Great player, physical player, great work ethic. Comes in every day. You know he's gonna come in and work. You know he got a passion and a love for football. I love and I feed off that in practice because I do feed off his passion and love for football. Some days, everybody. Some days don't. Some days you might be banged up and feel like practicing, but you still gotta go out there and he can practice. And those days come, he always energetic and ready to play. It's just passionate young man about the game.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Marcus.